Hey, what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to be doing a first ride review on this bike, the 2022 Triumph Speed Triple 1200 RS. We're going to be taking it on the road and highway to get our first impressions of Triumph's hyper naked sport bike. So let's jump right into it. Alright, here we are aboard the 2022 Triumph Speed Triple 1200 RS. Just a little background on this motorcycle before we get fully going on this first ride. It has a all new motor. It's an 1160cc 3-cylinder motor. When you look at all the different other options in this big super naked segment, you've got a lot of 2-cylinder twin motors, you've got a lot of V4 motors, and this bike is unique in that it has the 3-cylinder motor. It gives the bike an incredible sound and a very unique power delivery. Now, just in the few minutes of me riding this, I can tell that the ergonomics are extremely comfortable on this bike. You've got this beautiful full-color LCD display that lets you switch between your 5 different riding modes. The power delivery already feels very smooth and manageable at low speeds. The bike uses a cable clutch, which is a bit surprising. However, I have to admit, having a cable clutch makes for a really easy and light clutch pull. The braking system on this motorcycle has been updated for the new 1200 RS. It uses the Brembo Stylema front brake calipers that provide exceptional braking power. One thing that I really like about this bike is that it uses a wireless key system. So I've got the key in my pocket, and not only can I start the bike with the wireless key, but I can access the gas cap. I also really like the cockpit on this bike. You've got just a premium feel to all the hand controls, all the touch points. Unlike a lot of the other hyper naked sport bikes, the Triumph 1200 RS comes with cruise control, which, for example, the Ducati Streetfighter does not come with. All right, so now we've done some street riding. Let's go ahead and jump on the freeway and give this bike a highway test. While we've got this stoplight here, let's go ahead and do a 0 to 60 test. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, that felt incredible. The bike feels super planted right now on the highway. And then let's see if we can do a second gear wheelie on it. One interesting thing about the Triumph Speed Triple 1200 RS is that it only comes in this RS setup. There is no standard model lower spec version of this bike, and what you get in the 1200 RS version is the non-electronic but fully adjustable Olin suspension front and rear, which is going to be a fantastic setup for when you're going and riding twisty roads or going to your local track day. So right now we're going to be taking it down a little bit of a twisty road to get a feel for how this bike handles mid-corner. I can't get over how amazing that engine, power delivery, and sound is on this bike. It's such a interesting and novel experience riding this compared to, you know, all the V4s and inline 4-cylinder hyper nakeds out there in the market, and it really sets this bike apart. This bike definitely wants to corner. It feels like a true sport bike the way that it dips in when you want it to. Now, getting back to what I was saying about power, you know, you've got the Streetfighter V2, which makes 152 horsepower. Streetfighter V4 makes 208 horsepower. I believe the Aprilia Tuono RS-V4 makes around 200 horsepower, and given all those options, this bike is kind of a nice medium point when it comes to how much power you're getting out of this motor. Again, that low-end gruntiness from the triple just drives this bike out of the corner. It feels incredible. Really fun, both on the highway and cruising along here in this twisty road. Not only do you get an incredible engine and exhaust sound, but the intake noise from the airbox on this bike is just incredibly loud. It sounds like cold air just getting chugged into the motor, and it's such a fun sound to listen to while you're riding. Listen to this. Up here we've got quick chicane turns. We can test out how this bike handles with quick left-right. it feels incredibly light. Compare it to riding a sport bike, you're a little bit more upright, which positions more of the weight towards the rear tire of the bike, and that gives the front end a light feel. It makes it really easy to change from left to right. I have to admit, before taking this bike out for a test ride, I was not really aware of what this bike was or how it differentiated itself from others in the market. Triumph has been making the Speed Triple for many years and many different iterations, but this specific one, now that I've had a chance to get on and ride it, like, it has a tremendous amount of power, braking ability, suspension, electronics, rider comfort, performance. In the case of this specific bike, you're going to be able to pick this bike up for less than the cost of picking up Streetfighter V2, or way less than picking up a Streetfighter V4S or V4 Standard even. Now, what type of rider should get this bike? I mean, this thing is a very powerful machine, but it is not as brutal as what you'll find on the big latest V4 Superbikes and Super Naked. So I would say that a more intermediate to advanced rider is going to be very comfortable on this bike. 20 to 80, here we go. 20 is there. All right. That felt incredible. I could feel the wheelie control and traction control engaging on the bike to prevent the front wheel from lifting up and to prevent any sort of rear wheel spin. Now that we jump into this tunnel, let's get a nice little audio note from the exhaust. God damn, that sounds good. There is no feeling like going fast on a big sport bike. It's really something. All right, first impressions of the Triumph Speed Triple 1200 RS. This bike really surprised me with how capable it is. It's got just the right amount of power, 178 peak horsepower. It'll lift the wheel in second gear. It'll drive out of the corner, but it won't freak you the hell out like a lot of these big 200 plus superbike Streetfighters available now. It's really kind of a nice Goldilocks level of power. You know, it feels weird saying that from a bike that has an 1160cc motor, but really the power is quite docile. It's really usable. It's got a lot of nice components on it for a bike that's going to cost you a lot less than your Ducati Streetfighter V2s, your V4s. You know, it's really a incredible value for the premium European super naked sport bike. All right, back at the shop. Just take one more moment to appreciate how beautiful this bike is, and also to give a thank you to Redmond Used Motorcycles. This bike is currently for sale at Redmond Used Motorcycles. You can find out more about it by checking out the link down in the description. Let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think of the Speed Triple 1200 RS? Would you choose this over a Ducati Streetfighter V4 or Ducati Streetfighter V2? I hope you guys liked watching this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. Consider subscribing.
How was it?
It was good. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So
Sunny,
nice.
Right?
What's that?
Nice view.
Nice view, yeah. Nice. You made it to the end of the video. Want to keep watching more? Why don't you watch this video right here? Or you could watch this video right here.